Look up at the jagged peaks of a high mountain range on a clear, windless morning. Down here, near the foothills, the air is thick, stable, and incredibly forgiving. It's the perfect environment for a master of the sky. An eagle catches a gentle thermal, rising effortlessly in wide, lazy circles, setting the standard for what aerial dominance looks like. Watching from the tree line is a crow. Driven by a simple, powerful logic, the crow believes that if it just flaps hard enough, it can reach the exact same altitude. Desire and raw effort, it assumes, are the only requirements for greatness. So the crow launches, and at first the math seems to work in its favor. With rapid, determined wing beats, it tears through the thick lower atmosphere, gaining vertical distance at an astonishing rate. Soon the two birds are ascending side by side. In these placid skies, the crow's frantic, muscular exertion perfectly mimics the eagle's graceful ascent. To an observer on the ground, they look like absolute equals. But this is the core deception of ambition. The drive to climb will certainly get you off the ground, but a calm environment completely hides the brutal physiological cost that aggressive climbing demands. As they leave the foothills behind and breach the upper atmosphere, the environment turns hostile. The air thins out, the temperature plummets, and the horizon bruises a deep, volatile gray. Without warning, a massive high-altitude gale violently slams into the mountain face, completely rewriting the physics of the ascent. The crow defaults to its only known strategy, brute force. Feeling the turbulence threaten its balance, it attempts to overpower the wind, doubling its flapping speed to force its way upward. It's a structural disaster. The chaotic gusts catch the crow, violently warping its flight feathers and shattering its rhythm. Every single flap becomes a wrestling match with the atmosphere. The crow bleeds energy by the second, exhausting its reserves to maintain a space it cannot actually hold. Fighting a continuous, unyielding force of nature demands an exponential burn of calories. Sheer willpower can only take you so far. When pitched directly against the relentless friction of the summit, an aggressive, fighting approach inevitably breaks. But right next to the struggling crow, the eagle is trapped in the exact same violent wind shear. Instead of fighting back, the eagle does something completely counterintuitive. It stops flapping altogether. It extends its wings to their maximum span and rigidly locks its joints into place. Watch this aerodynamic shift. When the high-velocity headwind hits the leading edge of that locked wing, the air is split. It rushes over and under the aerofoil, instantly generating massive upward lift. The eagle catches the wind, converting the storm's chaotic energy straight into vertical momentum. Notice what happens to the energy cost here. The burden of flight is transferred completely from the eagle's muscles directly to the environment. As the wind speed spikes, the eagle's energy burn remains perfectly flat. Meanwhile, the crow descends rapidly. It doesn't fall because it lost its desire to reach the top, but because its biological battery ran entirely dry. Sustaining greatness isn't a matter of fighting the resistance harder. It's about biomechanically realigning yourself with the chaos so you can extract a power from it. With a final surge of lift, the eagle pierces the dark cloud layer, breaking out into the vast, sun-drenched silence of the stratosphere. Up here, the air is crystal clear. The absolute stillness of this new altitude stands in stark contrast to the violent, churning storm now trapped just below the clouds. We often think of the top as a finish line, a finite destination you reach and claim. But it is actually an incredibly hostile, punishing environment that you have to somehow live in. There are two entirely different types of strength. There is the active, muscular energy required to climb, the ambition that gets you off the ground. And then there is the passive, structural resilience required to stay there. Surviving the heights demands that you make peace with the turbulence, rather than constantly going to war with it. As the old proverb warns, more important than flying high is the strength to endure the height. It is not enough to just reach the peak. You have to be built for the endless glide.